Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back again. It's MikeyTMMA, my boy Fraymous, and oh my goodness, did we have a good morning and afternoon of fights today. The card honestly started off a little bit up and down. There were some good performances. There were some boring fights. But man, that main event really just rocked my world. But first of all, how you doing today, man? Thanks for being here again.
Yeah, of course, dude. I'm doing great. I'm sitting out here looking at this doing a Platinum Perry gift right now.
Please fill me in, because that was honestly, like I was telling you before the stream started, one of my favorite like UFC pro wrestling style promos I've ever seen cut. Like Mike Perry literally ran up to the fence, and if that dude wasn't there to stop him, he would have straight jumped into the octagon. I have no doubt in my mind they would have gotten to scrapping in there, or at least somebody would have gotten a punch off.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I don't know, man. I kind of want to see the fight. I'm one of those guys who's been 50-50 on Perry, but I got to be honest, I'm excited. I'd like to see that fight because, he's just going to go in there and march forward, and I think that'd be we'll really get to see. I think he'll give us a really good idea of what Till's about.
Well, also, I mean, Perry has to deal with Santiago Ponzinibbio first, who just took care of Gunnar Nelson, which obviously Gunnar's a proficient striker, but he's nowhere near the level of striker of a Mike Perry or a Ponzinibbio or a Darren Till. Like, I don't even know. I hope Mike Perry can get through Ponzinibbio. That would be a huge win for him. And then, honestly, I think Darren Till is about to jump high into the top 15, the top 10. I think Perry's like 15 right now. And what was Cowboy? Cowboy was like probably 5, 6, 7 at least, because I mean his last loss was to Robbie, and before that was Jorge, whose fight after that was for the title eliminator fight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this does for the division. It's going to be very interesting to see what this does for the division. Like you said, it really puts, it almost makes it seem like Platinum would be a step back for Till after this victory, but I still think he'd be a great fight for him.
Well, you would think that, but for the level of like excitement for the fans, like that promo that they just cut there at the end, like I haven't seen something so sincere. Like they interviewed, I don't know if you saw, like after the fight was over, the last few minutes, they were interviewing Mike Perry after, and he was like fist clenched, still ready to jack, like at any given moment. And like that's like a genuine thing. Like I don't think they like have beef, like there's like personal beef, but it's just like they want to beat the shit out of each other. And I mean, I want to see that. I don't know any MMA fan who wouldn't want to see that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you on that. Sorry, I'm making sure that I send this tweet out real quick so I can get to going. I definitely want to see that fight. If you're a fan of just fighting, then that's it for you right there. You want to see that fight. Regardless of character and how you feel on each other's characters and stuff, you want to see that fight if you're a fan of fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. There was somebody who tweeted, I think it was maybe perhaps Brett Okamoto of ESPN.com, said that just welterweight, the business is booming. Like there is so many great matchups right now.
Yes, that was my my open weight response. So what I say, Brett called it welterweight. Now I replied open weight due to the massive size of Darren Till.
That was a really good comment by Darren Till. Do you have a Facebook fan page by any chance?
I don't, but I need to start one.
Yeah, go ahead and get one set up. I'm just gonna type your name in here for now. But yeah, when you get it set up, let me know so I can start tagging you in these videos.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Man, I actually have to give a big shout out to my guy, Smackdownness. He's got a gambling YouTube channel. He's actually a personal friend of mine from my younger years, way back when we were a bunch of troublemakers. But he's killing on the YouTube game. He's got about, I think, 10,000 followers on Twitter. He's got like 5,000 followers on YouTube. He's doing these giveaways, right, where he's like shouting out my podcast. I think a lot of the people who obviously are into gambling also would be into MMA. I can see how those two worlds kind of collide. Especially with all the money that people gamble on MMA. But he shouted me out and basically was like, hey, we're doing a giveaway. If you follow my boy on his Twitter and his YouTube and subscribe to his page and like this and blah, 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 you win a prize. It's like a random person wins a prize. I literally got like in 2 shout outs that he did, I already got almost like 100 new followers on my YouTube channel when I started off with only like 15. And then I got like 20 or about 250 new followers on Twitter. And then there was a point in the time because he was streaming while the fights were going on. And I was like trying to watch the fights because I was watching the fights on my phone because I couldn't, for some reason, I couldn't log into my Fight Pass from my computer. Watching the fights on my phone, I was trying to live tweet and follow everybody else's tweets on Twitter, but I kept getting these notifications that said MikeyTMMA is lit, MikeyTMMA is lit, MikeyTMMA is lit. So I guess on the thing he was like, "We're gonna make another challenge. You just have to tweet him, tell him how lit he is, and you might have a chance to win a prize." But shout out to SmackDownness if you guys want to follow him. I believe it is spelled. Hold on, let me get that for you so I can verify that. It's literally like my notifications are still blowing up. After we're done streaming, I'll screen share with you so you can see what I'm talking about. It is absolutely ridiculous. What you call it right now? My notifications. Yeah. So SmackDownness is his name on YouTube. That's SmackDoness. Yeah. So go ahead, give him a follow. He does gambling stuff, gives some tips, gives some advice. The usual stuff, but shout out to SmackDownness for helping me expand my page. He's also done a lot of stuff, giving me some advice as to how to expand my better my YouTube page and get my stuff out there. So hopefully he can help us incorporate some of these new things into our shows in the future.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate him looking out for you as well. It helps build both of us like that. It's nice to see you getting some traction off of this, that it's paying off. Our time here is starting to pay some dividends. And it's doing it pretty early, too. It's actually been a fun ride the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. I mean, I started this thing about over a year ago doing just the audio podcast, and then for a while I kind of fell off, lost my motivation, had some ups, had some downs, would get back in and get back out. But the consistency that I've started to show has really started to excite me, and the idea of other people trying to kind of pitch in and help out with ideas and stuff. It really means a lot to me. And then, I mean, even you and our boy Chris Gary from the other night, just stuff like that. Fred Kirby, Eddie Law, Dave's MMA, these guys on Twitter who just been nothing but supportive, really helping me find the confidence it needs to or confidence that it takes to hop on a mic and just sit there and shoot the shit about a sport that we love, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's a good time. I love being able to, like you said, just shoot the shit about the sport that we love. I've been looking for something like this for a while, so it's nice to finally meet a partner in here that can just shoot it right back with me.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for, man. I've been looking for it for a while myself, so I'm glad I found somebody who can at least hold the conversation and even expand my knowledge to an extent. I mean, we talked about Chris the other night with the Japanese MMA stuff, but I think you've been a little bit more of a hardcore well, I guess I was probably a hardcore since I got into it, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't really get into the sport until, let's see, what was it? I think it was right before Anderson got knocked out by Weidman was, I think, right when I first really started becoming like what you would say like a hardcore, where I was watching fights every week. But you've been around the ringer a little bit longer, so even though I have seen a lot of these fights and whatnot, like going through Fight Pass and then my extensive DVD collection over here.
What did you sorry to cut you off. What did you say that DVD collection goes from?
Not all the way through. I think I have about 60. Some of the last ones are actually 2 events, because I think hold on, let me see. From UFC, they stopped making them after UFC 186, or they might have stopped making them after 188. I think I actually lost that one because that was Verdum Velasquez, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, from UFC 179, Aldo Mendez won to, I think it was 188, whatever that was. They were 2-disc collection or 2 event collections on the CDs. So those are 2 events on each of them. So I have about 50 to 60. But the first one I have is UFC 44, and then the last one is UFC 186. And then I also have a collection of Pride DVDs as well. Just there's a store down here in Memphis called Spin Street. It's basically just like a used DVD store. And when I was like fresh into college, that was like the one guilty pleasure I had, was like going and spending my whole paycheck on old fight DVDs, because this was like
awesome.
pre-Fight Pass days, you know?
Yeah. No, we used to do that. That's kind of how a lot of the fan base of the sport was built. Excuse me.
Gotta have time for water.
Yeah, my voice was feeling a little raspy there. A lot of the fan base of the sport was built on that. Like, the whole reason that Sherdog exists is because they were a DVD and tape, or even before then, before DVDs, they were a tape trader. They did mixed martial arts. They did some pro wrestling and stuff, and that really spawned into like the whole news conglomerate and message board that is Sherdog.com now. You know, Jeff Sherwood built that. There's actually a whole history there with between the UFC and Sherdog with disputes over DVD sales and whatnot. But that's a different story. But so yeah, that's what's really cool about this. A lot of the hardcore fans are guys that just or got men and women who fans of all types who just had to trade tapes or had to find the VHS and download it, or they had rip it and then download it, go to the flea market and find something and sell it to somebody across the pond. That really was the DVD collecting and tape trading was really how like the hardcore base of this sport was built. So it's pretty cool to still see like a younger guy like you getting into it. I say that like I'm in senior citizen, but it is cool to see newer guys getting into it and still wanting to build the DVD and tape collections. That's pretty dope.
No, absolutely. I know this probably the DVD thing is a dying industry, but the nostalgia aspect of just like panning over there sometimes and like looking at it, it's just so aesthetically pleasing to me. Like, I've probably watched them all like maybe 3 or 4 times a piece, which is actually pretty impressive, because I'll buy a DVD and watch it once and never pick it up again. But something about those, it's not even the fact that even after Fight Pass came out, I was still buying them just because like that DVD tower, I wanted to get it full. I wanted to have it like all in order, and like, I don't know, it's just something aesthetic about it, you know?
Yeah, definitely. No, I understand that, because not just I don't have it out right now behind me. I should move it up here into the shot. It's downstairs. I actually still collect VHSs. I'm working on not, like I said, not just fights, but I'm working on VHSs of every theatrical release in the U.S. for the year that I was born in, which is '87. And it's really fun to me that the movie that won the Oscar for the Academy Award for Best Picture that year was The Last Emperor.
The irony.
Yeah, it is. It is. I love it.
That's awesome, man. Well, yeah. So, I mean, let's get into it, man. This card, I mean, it was honestly, I mean, a lot more exciting than the Bellator card last night. I'll tell you that much right now. I went to bed kind of upset at all that last night. Not upset or anything, but just like kind of felt like it was like a little bit of a tease, you know, with the way that the decision went, and Heather Hardy lost, and I'm borderline in love with her. She got her nose smashed in. Just overall, Bellator just did not live up to my expectations tonight. This exponentially exceeded my expectations, without a doubt. I mean, you looked at some of the names on the main card, and we talked about this last night in our preview show, but it was like some of the names on the undercard, it was like, what? We talked about like how obviously they wanted to get the local fighters on the main card and whatnot, but you looked at the undercard, and it was like I saw some of the best fights on here as the undercard, but I mean, I was completely wrong, because I mean, it almost seemed there was only really 1 or 2 fights that I really did not enjoy. I mean, you look at you just start at the bottom. Josh Emmett completely dominating. Aspen Ladd, great performance. Just every single fight. I think really the only one that left a little bit to be desired for me
was that Sam Alvey fight.
Oh yeah, that's the one. I was gonna say March in Hell, because I didn't know for sure that he was gonna get that nod there. But the Sam Alvey thing, I saw someone like on Twitter. I wish I could remember who it was so I could give them credit for it. But they said something along the lines of, as Sam tried to fight this guy like he fought Rashad, and then it was like a little gif of him just backing up and backing up and backing up, and it just, I mean, he was getting rocked. He's getting blasted there for a minute. And I know he just kind of just kept circling out and trying to get away from the exchanges. And I don't know. I'm not really in the business of wanting to see Sam Alvey fight if that's his style. I mean, if we're going to let him be in the UFC, he's going to have literally fight the very bottom guys of that 185 roster, in my opinion.
It's crazy because he has all the talent there. He just not a good, I believe was you last night, I think, so he just pointed out he's just not a good athlete. And that's the problem. It holds him back. And it's almost like he accepts that and he's comfortable being a lazy fighter. And that frustrates me. That frustrates a lot of the viewers and fans. It's great when he goes in there and he gets the knockout on the counter. But if he doesn't get the knockout of the counter, then he's lazy and he just waits for it. And he's content with nothing happening if he doesn't get the finish. That's what it feels like when I watch him fight.
One thing I saw there, one thing I thought was hilarious was I think there was a round where it seemed like he kind of got saved by the bell, not saved by the bell like that other cat did where he got dropped, but saved by the bell to an extent where he was getting unloaded on. I think possibly up against the fence. I don't know, maybe he was just getting beat up pretty bad. But then you walk over to the corner and he walks over to his corner and the first thing you hear is his wife's voice because I know his wife is his. I think she's a fighter too, and she's always in his corner, but he's like getting his butt kicked, and then the first thing you hear is just this soothing sound of this beautiful woman's voice. And I'm like, I'm not sure. I've never seen her, so I don't know necessarily that she's beautiful. But
she won America's Next Top Model.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yep.
What? Good for you, Smiling Sam. Good for you.
Yeah, right?
Good for you. That's
everybody's initial reaction.
Yeah, you just hear this beautiful voice, and it's like she's trying to give him advice, and I'm just like, man, I'm not sure any advice that she can give you, no matter how great her voice is or how beautiful she may be. I don't think any advice she's going to give you is going to help you in this fight to make up for your lack of athleticism that you just referenced.
Yeah, no, not at all. Absolutely not at all. Like I said, it's just he's very content and waiting for a shot. And if the shot doesn't come, then this is the type of output that we get from Sam Alvey. Is that circling and waiting. He did it in a fight a while. He's done it in a few fights. There was one that's really standing out to me, but I just can't remember. But he did the exact same thing. And
I'm gonna pull up his record real quick because I'm kind of curious now too. Because he's had so many fights where it was just like, just left so much to be desired. Like it was just not pleasing to the eyes. It's like we talked about last night. Like we know what high level MMA is supposed to look like, and this is not. This is like looks like a guy that you would see like competing for a championship on your regional circuit in your hometown. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter, or else he wouldn't be here. But okay, so here's his last couple of fights. He lost today to, how do you pronounce this cat's name? Emeev?
Yeah, Emeev.
Okay, and then he beat Rashad, lost to Tali's Lates, but Tali's kind of beat the crap out of him from what I remember him. Nate Marquardt, he did that against. Alex Nicholson, I'm pretty sure he did that against. He TKO'd Kevin Casey, which is, I guess, kind of impressive. He submitted Eric Spicely. Now, that's Kevin really Casey impressive.
Doesn't have hands. He's greatly exaggerated.
Who are we talking about, Kevin Casey?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's over in Bellator fighting.
Which really blows my mind because Kevin Casey is actually married to Hannah Ali. Yeah. But he is strictly a BJJ guy. So, like, I want somebody to explain that to me.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened. I mean, I think he probably met her after he had developed or, like, begun his mixed martial arts journey. I guess that's a possibility, and they met possibly through a gym. But yeah, his hands are terrible. I remember watching him on The Ultimate Fighter.
Excuse me, I was wrong. I was thinking. I hate to cut you off. I've always thought that Kevin Casey was married into the Ali family, but maybe Google and Wikipedia are telling me that he's actually a legit. No, he is married to. Okay, they have it wrong. Yeah, they have it wrong. He's married to his daughter, but it's listed on Google backwards, and that just threw me off when I went to verify.
Wait, yeah, you mentioned last night about how Sam had a win over Elias. I forgot about that. And then before that, he got TKO'd by Derek Brunson. Man, he has fought a lot in the past 3 years. Jeez.
Yeah, he has.
since February of 2015, Sam has fought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. Wow, that's crazy.
And he has also been battling through injuries too, so he's clearly up there. I mean, he's battling through injuries, so maybe Sam Alvey just needs to take a year or so off. And he said that him and his wife are in the process of adopting a child, so maybe it's time for him to take a year off, adopt, work on that, and focus on that for a bit, and heal his body, spend some time with his family, get where he needs to be physically, get his head straight, and then come back fresh.
Anything that woman tells me to do, I'm doing. So
yeah, she's fierce. She reamed him out between rounds. Like if
I didn't listen.
Go ahead.
I said I didn't listen initially. I didn't really pay attention past the initial, like, oh wow, this girl has a really pretty voice. Like that was. I just remember the story about how his wife was always in his corner. I don't know that I knew that it was a super hot model like that, but yeah, I definitely noticed the voice. But yeah, no, you said she was chewing him out.
Yeah, she goes in, but she doesn't hold back. She always gets onto him in his corner if she needs to. She's really good about separating that line between coach and wife and just letting him have it when he needs to have it. And I like that. She doesn't take it easy on him.
First of all, I feel like there's a lot of people that would look at that situation and be like, you shouldn't have, like, maybe, like, I understand the Nick and Nate thing, but like having family in your corner, I just feel like, I don't know, family, like brothers is one thing, but like husband and wife, when you have that, like that love, like where it's like, I don't know, obviously you never want to see any of your loved ones gonna get hurt, but I don't know, I feel like that can be very traumatic to be like right there trying to be the one giving your husband or wife advice, and then for them to get brutally knocked out or whatever the case may be, or just get their butt kicked. I don't know, I've never, I mean, if she's actually making
Michelle Waterson's husband is one of her coaches, and I said karate hottie Michelle Waterson. She's in the same situation though. Her husband is usually in her corner. He's like one of her head trainers and head coaches, and he used to fight as well. They covered it. They talk about it many a times, but he used to fight as well, and he's retired now and coaches her full time. So he's usually in her corner as well. So there's a few times. Pat Barry used to always be in Rose's corner. I don't think she's cornering her anymore though.
Well, no, actually, if you haven't heard, there was on the MMA Hour they came on. What ended up happening is I think Pat had a really serious drug and alcohol problem there for a little while, and I believe what was if you remember at UFC 200, he was actually training, or for UFC 200, he was training with Brock Lesnar for the Mark Hunt fight, and he went out and got arrested one night because can't remember what happened. He went out and got drunk. Lied to Rose about where he was going, blah, 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 ended up getting arrested. And basically Rose was like, I'm leaving, and like took their dog and like said that she needed like a break. And then basically after that, he started getting his life together. He's been, according to his quotes on the MMA Hour, he seems, I mean, he definitely looks clean and sober. He looks healthy. I think he's taking a kickbox. It was weird. I think he mentioned he's taking a kickboxing match with MMA gloves, which is weird, but that's not the point of the story. I just thought I'd throw that out there. But yeah, no, he's the reason why he wasn't in her corner for UFC, what was it, 201 when Rose lost to Carolina? I think because that was the same card where Tyron knocked out Robbie. He wasn't in her corner that time because they were technically, I guess, separated at the moment, or not living together and not training together while Pat was getting his stuff together. But no, I think from what I understood, Pat should be in her corner for 217.
So it looks like they're reporting a little off subject, kind of back on track. It looks like they're reporting that it was an elbow from Till that shattered the nose of Cerrone.
Oh, you could see it? Oh, it was a short elbow right up against the fence. There was because the gifs that I was seeing.
Officially like coming out now that it's legit done. Like his nose is legit shattered.
His nose is just completely broken.
Yeah,
It didn't look
that's
pretty.
what Twitter's lighting up on. So we'll see how bad it really is. Hopefully, it's not as a case of Rory McDonald.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. Since we're talking about it, I mean, we can just start from the top if you want to, and then work our way down because that's the meat of the card. What did you think of Cowboy's approach? I liked the way that he came out there and shot for a takedown immediately. I would have liked to see him kind of work the hands and like maybe work that world famous body kick of his to kind of like keep him off balance and then shoot for the takedown. But even later in the round when he was able to get him down, I mean, he was right up against the fence until just popped right back up.
Yeah, no, I agree. That I like the takedowns, but that's really about all I liked about his approach. As soon as he started backing up against the fence the same exact way that he did against RDA in their second fight, I knew that Till was going to smother him and use the shots against him. Cerrone's the type of fighter, he needs to get his shots. He needs room to get his shots off. The way that he uses his Muay Thai and his striking, he needs room to get his shots off, and he can't do that if he's back as against the cage. And he was going to struggle no matter what in the clinch against the guy the size of Till. I mean, Till is a natural light heavyweight. There's no reason he should be fighting at welterweight. And
I did not even realize that before this fight, how giant that man is.
Well, did you hear that's what Perry yelled at him? When Perry yelled at him when he came through the cage up to it, he goes, I'm a real welterweight. You're a light. He goes, you're a light heavyweight. I'm a real welterweight. So I really think that
big balls like Perry.
So Cerrone really should have held the center of the octagon and not backed up and pushed that takedown push that takedown as Till tried to come in instead of waiting until like the counter it the way that he was. Like I said, I think his initial approach as soon as he started backing up, I knew that he was going to be in for a short night.
To build on that, you pointed out the RDA fight as an example of when he kind of turtled up against the fence. I think it was a body shot that hit him again, the RDA fight. But similar to that, also in the Masvidal fight, I thought from the very beginning of the fight, I noticed Till's a southpaw, if I'm not mistaken. I believe. If Masvidal is not, I think he might switch stances a lot. But what I noticed, regardless of the stance, his game plan seemed to take Masvidal's game plan and implement it better than Masvidal did. Like Masvidal finished him up against the fence like that. I mean, he dropped him up against the fence in the first round and almost finished him, and then had him just wrecked him with body shots at the end. But when Cowboy is up on the fence like that and he starts covering up, starts turtling up, that's a sign to attack. And I mean, Till saw it and he ran with it. And honestly, I was impressed with his accuracy, man. He was lighting Cowboy up, and Cowboy has always struggled with guys who've high-level boxing or high-level Muay Thai, good hands. I mean, Cowboy's got good kickboxing, but his hands, his boxing, he's never been able to find the range with his hands or been able to keep his opponents from finding their range with their hands unless he's like implementing that kick and working his takedowns that he started developing later on once he moved up to welterweight.
I see where you're coming from on that, but I kind of disagree. I think he's been able to do it as long as he's controlling the rhythm of the fight. He's not a good counter striker, and that's almost like he wants to be a counter striker. That's where he struggles getting his hands off, in my opinion.
I can see that. Yeah. I think Cowboy's one of those guys who he always either overperforms or he underperforms to my expectations. Like, it seems like for a while he was always losing to the guys that he was supposed to beat, or he would lose. He would get all the way to the top and then lose the big fight. And then all the guys that he was supposed to beat, he would steamroll. We talked about that last night with the Adriano Martins head kick. These guys that you've never heard of. I mean, I'm not comparing Darren Till to Adriano Martins by any sense of the imagination. But what I'm trying to say is I actually kind of forgot what I was trying to say. Basically, Cowboy came out. He 100% believed that he was going to fuck this kid up, just like Darren Till 100% in his mind believed he was going to mess Cowboy up. And ultimately, I think Cowboy did not plan accordingly for the skill set of Darren Till, and it showed. and he paid the price. I mean, he's going to be, for a guy who likes to fight 4 or 5 times a year with a broken nose like that, we might not see him for 6 months to a year, you know?
Yeah, it might be a while.
Look at Rory. Look how long it took Rory to come back and be the same.
And Rory still isn't the same. That's what's kind of scary.
I don't know if Rory's still the same.
That's what's kind of scary about it, is that we're like the verdict is still out on Rory. You there?
Your video is kind of lagging.
That better? I should be coming back now. You're kind of lagging as well. I don't know if it's on your end. I lost you. Mikey? You there?
Can you hear me?
All right, I'm going to leave and try and come back.
All right, so I'm not sure if he can hear me or not. Yeah, the audio is messed up at the moment.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, there you go. I see you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're coming back.
Yeah.
Did we just lose each other there?
Yeah, I'm here, but I don't know. I think it's delayed.
All right, let's see. Hold on. You want me to leave and try and call me right back? All right, we're gonna try and I'm still live. I think he's still live. We're gonna try and keep it rolling though. See if I can get him, Mikey T, back in here. Maybe he's gonna call me back in a minute. I'm not sure, but if not, we're in the process of talking about Cerrone versus Till. Donald Cerrone completely steamrolled tonight by Darren Till, who came in there and told everybody what he was going to do. And he's done that in pretty much all of his fights. He's told people what he was going to do, and he's managed to continuously pull it off for the most part. Really excited to see where he goes in the future, but I have no idea how. I have no idea what to do with the welterweight division after this. Mikey. Hold on, I think he's coming back in.
Coming back.
Yeah, there you go.
Got your picture.
I got you.
All right, we're good?
We're good. You there?
Man, the audio is still messed up, though. Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you want me to leave and try and come back?
Yeah, just exit out. I'm going to, yeah.
All right. Yo. You there?
Yeah. So I don't know what happened. Like your audio started lagging, and then it like completely stopped, and then it was just completely delayed. Like I would say a word, and then you would respond like 15 seconds later, and it'd be like, "Yo, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?"
Yeah, I was having the same problem.
I don't know.
You're still kind of breaking up and coming through, but you're starting to crisp back up.
Yeah, no, your audio is crisp now. I have too many windows open. I'm gonna close some of these. Maybe at my thing. I wonder how this is gonna turn out for the able to reestablish the connection. Look like, let's see. There's an error loading your app. This app couldn't load. Cancel. All right, so I guess are we live
on? Yeah, we're still live.
Use your window and see if it shows up.
Got a live.
You know, I wonder if it's my internet or something, because all of a sudden my internet has just decided to just completely slow down out of nowhere, even though I pay an ungodly amount of money to Xfinity every month.
Let's see. You're coming back in.
Boom. Yeah, I wonder. See, you should get on YouTube real quick and click the link and see, because my internet's so slow right now. I think it's my internet, man. I don't know why. I'm gonna disconnect everything.
Okay.
Maybe that's what's going on. Here, yeah, pull up the YouTube window on your thing and see if it's actually streaming.
Yeah, it's streaming. But it's coming and going, and you're lagging out on it. So I'm switching over to mine.
It's kind of lagging too. If it keeps doing this, I can honestly just start it over and we can just pick up where we left off.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at it now.
And honestly, it might actually not, until my internet decides it wants to start working. We might just be.
Yeah, you there? I think you're doing better though. No, but it's gone again.
Yeah.
You there?
I'm here. Yeah, it's my internet, man. I don't know why all of a sudden it wants to.
Did you try and do a speed test? Did you try to do the
crap out on me? Do you want to stop the broadcast and see if maybe if I start it over?
Yeah, go for it.
We left off.
Yeah, we can try that, and then we can just edit the two together. So you want me to leave the call? And he's gone. All right, so while we're waiting on him, I'm going to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to do the same.